Today, we're talking about one of the hardest working organs in the human body. And if you didn't know, that's the liver. It doesn't ask for attention, it doesn't complain until something is seriously wrong. Yet, it performs over 500 essential functions each and every single day without fail. Well, that is until it does fail. If your liver could speak, it will probably say, I've been protecting you your entire life. Now it's your turn to protect me. Let's embrace the fight together. Hello, and welcome to Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. In January of 2023, I opened this podcast to help others embrace their personal fight. Whether it is a physical or mental fight, every fight deserves the attention, and every fight deserves your time. As we evolve, we start talking about the joy and the goodness after the fight, after the storm. Is that you? If it is, we would love to have you as a guest on Embracing the Fight. So please send an email to operations@diversitydesign.com, or you can reach out to me on any social media platform where Embracing the Fight is: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, X, and YouTube. The only difference is at Instagram, it is Embracing the Fight underscore. So please click like, click comment, and share. Now that we've gotten the business of embracing the fight out of the way, let's get into today's episode. Love your liver, the silent organ that fights for you each and every day. But before we get into it, I have to give you this medical disclaimer. This episode is intended for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice. I am not a medical professional and I hold no licenses. Always consult with your healthcare provider before starting any herbal supplement or making major changes to your diet or medications, especially if you have liver disease or take prescription medications for anything, not just your liver. All right, so let's jump in. What does the liver actually do? So, in the grand scheme of things, your liver weighs about 3 pounds and it sits beneath your right rib cage. Every minute, it filters blood coming from your digestive tract before sending it to the rest of your body. So, your liver is actively removing toxins. It's processing the medications and the vitamins and everything that you're putting in to help your body. It produces bile to help digest the fats. It stores vitamins A, D, E, K, and B12. It also stores iron. And it produces cholesterol that your body actually needs, the good cholesterol. It helps to regulate blood sugar, so it pairs with the pancreas. It produces proteins that help the blood to clot. It helps to fight infection, and it converts food into usable energy. Does a whole lot. Think of it, in more practical terms, as if your body had like a water treatment plant, a chemical factory, a pharmacy, a fuel refinery, a storage warehouse, and a security system, all rolled into one organ. That thing is a powerhouse. It does a lot for you to protect you and to keep you going. So, what are some signs that your liver may be in danger or it may be struggling. Like you wake up and your face is puffy and your eyes are puffy, and you just kind of, brush it off and say, I didn't get enough sleep. Well, many people have liver disease and they don't know, that they have it. So these are some of the common warning signs that let you know that you may have an issue with your liver. You're constantly tired, constant fatigue. You have yellow eyes or skin, jaundice, swollen abdomen, swollen legs, dark urine, pale stools, easy bruising, loss of appetite, itchy skin, brain fog, nausea, and then that persistent pain, right under your right rib. Unfortunately, liver disease develops silently many, many, many years before you start to see, any issues out loud. So, what are some common liver diseases? And one of them, actually surprised me, like fatty liver disease. I always thought that fatty liver disease came from just alcohol, but it doesn't. So, it is one of the well, I shouldn't say it doesn't. Not all of it only comes from it, but it is one of the fastest growing liver conditions. The risk factors that, can promote this type of liver disease are obesity, diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, poor diet, and, being sedentary doesn't help your liver either. Also, there is an alcohol related liver disease, and it's a fatty liver disease as well. And what happens is alcohol damages the liver cells over time, and it can lead to not just fatty liver, it can lead to alcoholic hepatitis and cirrhosis of the liver. So it's okay, to have a little bit of alcohol, but do it in moderation. Don't do it so much that it kills your liver. Also, there is viral hepatitis. So different viruses actually attack the liver. And some of them are hepatitis A, hepatitis B, and hepatitis C. Some are preventable through vaccination. So if you ever see those, commercials about getting vaccinations for Hep C, do it, especially if you feel like you're in that category of risk. Also, when we talk about cirrhosis of the liver, that is permanent scarring of the liver. And what commonly, causes cirrhosis of the liver is alcohol misuse, viral hepatitis, fatty liver disease, and autoimmune liver disease. So when they talk about an autoimmune liver disease, it could be something like, lupus, because lupus attacks your entire body. But just imagine something of that magnitude. Also, there's liver cancer. Now, usually, liver cancer develops after years and years of chronic liver damage, but early detection can help to save your life. So, are you going to the doctor? Are you having your enzymes checked? What are you doing when it comes to your liver? So, one thing you can do is eat foods that love your liver. So, what does your liver thrive off of? The type of foods that your liver thrives off of are antioxidants, things that are high in fiber and healthy fats. So, some food examples are broccoli, kale, spinach, blueberries, strawberries. I was hoping that, pineapples would be one, but it's not. I mean, you could throw some pineapples in there to sweeten and make you a good smoothie. Well, actually, I guess they are, because avocados and citrus fruits are added into this list as well. So eat your pineapples, enjoy them. Garlic, onion. And for those people, that do not have nut allergies, walnuts are good for your liver. And salmon is good for your liver. Beans, any kind of bean, legume. Coffee, for many adults, with moderate consumption, has been associated with a lower risk of some chronic liver diseases. So I'm not saying drink the whole pot and go to Starbucks 3 to 4 times a day just because you heard that and you love coffee, because anything that is done excessively can cause your body harm. So outside of the foods that can help you, there are herbs that may support liver health. So most of the time when people talk about herbs, they usually market it for liver health, but natural doesn't always mean safe. For instance, people with liver disease that take prescription medications, or those who are pregnant, should speak with a medical or healthcare professional before taking any of these substances or any of these herbal supplements, because you don't know how it can affect the baby or how it can affect the efficacy or how well the medicine or prescription that you're taking will work, with it. So the most researched liver support herbs can help protect liver cells in some conditions, but evidence has been mixed. Now, a proven treatment using herbs has not been provided for liver disease. But when you think about herbs that would help with liver issues, you would think about turmeric, because it helps to reduce inflammation and it contains curcumin. Also, absorption improves when consumed with black pepper. So if you eat some turmeric, put a little black pepper in it, and it helps your body to absorb it. Another herb that is considered to be helpful to the liver is dandelion root. So you usually hear people talk about it to support digestion and bile flow. Now, human evidence for treating liver disease is limited. Usually you hear about tests where they had lab animals and it showed you the impact of these things on these animals, but not humans. Also, ginger, it helps to support digestion. It has anti-inflammatory properties. And when you drink ginger in a tea, regularly, you notice that the bloating, the nausea, all of that, it goes away. Also, if you drink a little green tea, it's rich in antioxidants. So if you drink it brewed in moderation, it is beneficial or can be beneficial. But high dose green tea extract supplements have been linked to liver injury in some people. So I wouldn't, suggest that you go overboard with it. I'm saying, drink you a cup of green tea maybe in the morning and one in the evening. Don't overdo it with the supplements. Also, artichoke leaf. Some studies suggest that it may support bile production and liver function, but there is more research that is needed. Now, I don't know exactly what study was done there, but I'd be interested to see, because I like, spinach and artichoke dip, and both of those things are listed as things that will, potentially help the liver. Now, on the flip side, there are some herbs that can harm the liver. And people automatically assume that all herbs are automatically safe. They are not. You think about walking around in your yard, would you just pick some random thing and chew on it? What if you're chewing on some poison ivy or poison oak? That wouldn't be good. So some supplements have been linked to liver injury. And like the one we stated earlier, the high dose green tea extract, kava, comfrey, chaparral, black cohosh. Now that's just been some rare cases that have been reported. And pennyroyal oil. Now, anytime that you're taking any of these things, regardless of what I just said. Just make sure that you bring them to your healthcare provider and let them know, what it is that you're taking and what the dosage is, and they can tell you better how it will truly impact your liver. Now, what are some lifestyle habits that you can adopt to help protect your liver? You can exercise regularly. That is, if you have been, freed by the doctor to do that. Maintain a healthy weight. Limit your alcohol consumption. Don't smoke at all. Stay hydrated. And don't just drink water. Get your hydration through the green leafy vegetables and make sure you drink things that have electrolytes in them. Also, get vaccinated against hepatitis A and B if appropriate. Practice safe sex. Don't share needles. And I'm really saying don't do drugs. Don't do it. Pray. Talk to the Lord about your problems. Don't resort to drugs. And then use medications as directed, including acetaminophen. If you overdose on Tylenol, it totally kills your liver and you don't survive that. Also, if you manage your diabetes and your high cholesterol, those things will help with a healthy liver. So, you always hear people saying that, the liver can heal itself. And that is true. That is the one amazing fact about the liver. It is the only internal organ that can regenerate significant amounts of lost tissue. However, there's a caveat to that. When the damage is caught early, then fatty liver can improve. Inflammation can be reduced or it can decrease. Liver cells can regenerate healthy liver cells. However, there's always that little caveat. But once cirrhosis becomes advanced, much of the scarring that occurs within the liver cannot be reversed. It can't be erased. So the earlier you act, the better the outcome. Unless, you need a transplant. And that's a different story. We prefer that you do it, the healthy way so you won't ever need a transplant. So finally, your liver fights for you every single second. It filters the poison, that stuff that you've eaten and drinking, you shouldn't, and it's getting it out of your body. It's protecting you. It's storing fuel that you need to get up and do the things that you want to do. And it keeps your body balanced and regulated so your blood pressure is not going crazy, blood sugar is not going nuts. And then most of us never ever think about it until we notice that something is wrong. So today is your reminder that prevention is necessary and it is powerful. Feed your liver. Move your body. Know your numbers. When's the last time you had a biometric screening? Do you know which enzymes you should be looking at when it comes to your liver? Make sure you get your labs checked. And if you're already facing liver disease, it's not too late to try to work it out and do something different to help yourself. Remember, your diagnosis does not define your destiny. Every healthy choice that you make today is another way of embracing the fight. You have to realize that your liver is going to continue to fight for you until you refuse to fight for it. So I have a question, for all the people out there viewing. Have you ever had your liver enzymes checked? Do you know what they are? Do you know what a normal level is? And then if you don't, what's a healthy habit that you are committing to, this week? Have you made lifestyle changes that helped to improve your liver health? And if so, I would love for you to share that in the comments, because there's somebody out there that's probably dealing, with issues with their liver and they just don't know where to go or where to turn. because I know I was having problems with my blood pressure. And I just put a post out there on Facebook, and I got a lot of inboxes and a lot of people that were dealing with something similar. And they shared, everything with me. And I started juicing and I started doing some things different. And I noticed that my blood pressure was slowly getting better, with the medication. It's not where I wanted to be. I can't go back to the gym yet. But had I stayed silent, I'd be suffering with something that someone else had the answer to. That's all I want to talk to y'all about, today on this episode of Embracing the Fight. And I want you to take time to really take care, of your liver. I want you to sit down and really look at your body. Really look at, what you have going on and say, I'm worth it. Say to yourself that you are worth fighting for. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch this episode of Embracing the Fight. Love your liver, the silent organ that fights for you each and every day. And as always, I want you all to have an absolutely amazing day.